guys, what's up? Welcome back to another planty video. If this is your first time, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking. I appreciate you being here, and I hope you will consider sticking around. We are just a small little community here on YouTube, and I love my community so much. If it is your first time, send me a heart emoji and tell me where you're from, because I do love getting to know my subscribers. If you're returning, thank you so much as always for being here, guys. You know I look forward to chatting with you in the comments down below. So let me know what's been going on, let me know how your month has been. Tell me the tea. This week we are getting into part 4 of, or is it part 3? I think it's part 3 of the Houseplant Tour. And I'm super excited to share, it's part 3, to share these with you, because these are my largest plants, guys. These are the ones that grow outside, so they grow in very humid climate. For those of you that are new, I am in Florida, so this is prime time for them and their growing season. While we're all melting, they're living their best life. So yeah, I think we've seen quite a bit of growth since last year's outdoor tour, and I will link that down below in case you're curious or if you want to check it out. I will also link part 1 and part 2 of this year's Houseplant Tour down below also. And if you're not following me over on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, I hope you will consider doing so. I post a lot of like my day-to-day over there. YouTube, I post weekly, so there's only so much I can share with you guys, but over on TikTok especially, I definitely, show more of the day-to-day. So yeah, I love getting to know you guys. I just appreciate your support so much. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay guys, welcome to the backyard. This is kind of what we're going to be focusing on today. That's the pergola that I always refer to, and I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse. This is like literally right outside the sliding door. So this is the first thing that you see when you come outside. I guess we'll just start here because, well, we're right here. So this is just a prop box. I'm not going to open it up. Honestly, it's just a bunch of miscellaneous cuttings. I don't even know what's in there. And then moving behind the couch, this is my Rhaphidophora decursiva, which didn't do anything for me inside until I moved it outside, and then suddenly it just like exploded. So these are the first, it's actually 2 vines in here, and this is the first leaves that each vine put out. It looks like we're gonna get another one right there, so that's exciting. I love this plant. I'm a big fan of Rhaphidophora decursiva. I know it's kind of controversial, but people liking it and not liking it because of its like tendency to put out runners, but I mean, look at that leaf. So cool. And then this is my big girl, Summer Glory. She actually just got a little trim. She's about to give me another leaf. She just gave me a leaf, and she's really, really happy right now, living her best life. I love Summer Glory. I am just a huge fan of any, crawling philodendron. I just love them. I love the rectangular pot. I love the way that they look in the rectangular pot. I just think they are so beautiful. Those big pillowy leaves. Summer Glory is one of my faves. And then right next to her, I have my philodendron Plowmanii, which has really taken off over the course of this last, I don't know, I would say 6 months. This is her most recent leaf. And I did just trim her up a little bit yesterday also. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I came out here and cleaned up this area because it was a little bit messy. I feel like every 4 or 5 months I have to come out here and really, really, really clean up. Actually, not 4 or 5, I'd say like every 3 months. She did have a pretty gnarly case of spider mites going on, but I went ahead and sprayed her down. So it's just a matter of keeping her sprayed, and I just think this is such a beautiful plant. I'm excited to see where this goes. That's pretty much it for those guys, and that wraps up what we have over here. So now moving over here, I have my beautiful silver blush, Anthurium silver blush. She is one of my all-time favorites. Like, I just truly can't get enough of this Anthurium. She has just been doing amazing out here. There's a couple leaves that I need to cut off. She is currently giving me one right there, so that's exciting. But like, just to come out here and see those leaves, oh my goodness, I can't. She's just so magical to me. And then down here, I just have a little Christmas cactus cutting, this little cactus here. I have my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma that I actually, in my last tour of outside, which was last year, I believe this thing was all the way to the top of this pole. But she kind of went downhill over the winter months, and so I just took a bunch of cuttings and basically repotted her. So she's just kind of doing her thing. I really don't ever pay attention to this plant, if I'm being honest. I just water her, you know, when I water her, and yeah, I like her nonetheless. It's just not one that, you know, gets a ton of my attention. And then I have two fiddle leaf figs, you guys. These are my fiddle leaf fig trees. This one I am looking to part with because I genuinely just don't have the space. I don't know, I think this was a rescue situation, and or perhaps, yeah, I'm just looking to part with her. I just haven't found the right person. But this is my other one. I'll get you a nice shot of it because it is incredibly massive, and every year it just grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see if it's like backlit or not, but it's to the point where it's kind of outgrown this space. But I don't really know where else to put her, you know. She's just so happy here, and honestly I can't really imagine the space without her in it. She's been here for so long. I started this as a tiny little $20 clearance buy from Walmart, and it was really just like a sad, very sad situation. So to see her like grow like this is it's pretty awesome, and a totally wholesome moment. We had a nest. Some cardinals made a nest, and they are obviously moved on now, but that was just like a wholesome moment to have grown this tree large enough to where, you know, a bird decided to nest in it. But yeah, I mean, people have a lot of trouble growing this particular plant, Ficus lyrata, but honestly, I mean, it's just been a breeze. And then, so this next one, you see the one I was referring to first, it's kind of like growing in to the big one. I really want to part with this one just because, as you can see, they grow like crazy for me, and we don't have any more space. I mean, that's the roof of the house. I don't know, those are probably, I don't even know how high the ceiling is, but she's far exceeded the ceiling, and she's now growing out there. So that's her. And then down here is my little black bat plant. That's a hard one to say, black bat plant. And never mind these pots here, guys. They're extra pots and whatever, but this one has been a bit of a struggle. I feel like it's very similar to like a peace lily in the way that it grows, puts out new leaves, and is very dramatic in the way that the leaves will droop if it's, you know, dried out or whatever, and then pop back up the second it gets water. But I don't know, it's just not done a whole lot for me. It probably could use some more light, perhaps, but I don't know. This is just where I have her. And I got her last October, so we've had her for several months now. And yeah, this is just the little thing that I keep all of. It was supposed to be a space for plants in the winter, and it's just turned into a space that holds all of the gardening supplies. So there's that. And then let's enter the pergola and get into that, because I am so excited to show you guys. These are my big plants, okay? These are the ones that are like living their best life out here. For those of you that are new, I do live in Florida, so they're getting the best treatment right now in the summer. The humidity here is like 1,000,000%, and so they're just loving it. Look at this new leaf on my Monstera. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So this has been kind of a project. You can see it in last year's video as well. I will link it down below, last year's outdoor plant tour. But what I did and essentially had to do is I had to go in and completely deconstruct her and cut her up, chop her up, sell some of the propagations, because she was taking over this whole space. I mean, it was literally like taking up the whole space. So what I did is I ended up keeping like the more mature leaves, and so that's kind of the goal going forward, is to continue to chop her. I like her just growing like this, you know. I don't mind her bushing out a little bit, but the reality is I don't have the space for her to get crazy, and these will get crazy really quickly if you're not careful. So that is her. And then down here is one of 2 alocasias that I have left from all of the alocasias that I've bought in my lifetime, which is a lot of them. And this is Alocasia longiloba. She seems to be doing well, and she's putting out some babies there, you know. Not much to write home about, but I just moved her to this spot from a different spot. I'm sure she's gonna freak out, lose all of her leaves, and be dramatic, but for now, she's doing all right. And then below that is my Philodendron gloriosum. So this is a little bit of a sad story from last year. If you saw this last year, it was double the size, doing all the things. It was so beautiful and magical. And then over the winter, I did move it inside for like the super, you know, cold nights, but she's not a winter girl, and I totally get it. Because I'm not much of a winter girly either, but also it just had a hard time bouncing back. I did repot her. She's doing really well now. Obviously, she's putting out leaves and she's putting out these cute little pups. So I think that in time, this will be just as magnificent as it was before. Gloriosum is one of my all-time favorite philodendrons. I just can't get enough of these beautiful leaves. But yeah, she's just not a winter philodendron. We also have a mouse, you guys, that's living in this hot tub. John is going to work that out because she is eating all of my plants. Little by little, I come out and I just see chomp marks everywhere where she's just decided to eat whatever she pleases. This behind it is gosh, I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing it. I'll have the name on the screen, but I guess it's an orchid. She does put out these really pretty pink flowers. Super, super pretty. And yeah, really tropical looking. She's just kind of doing her thing, but she could look better for sure. I had her in a spot. I just moved her to this spot, and I do need to probably up pot her into some better soil. I don't think I've ever repotted her since getting her, and I think if I do that, she will really, really appreciate it. And then down here is Philodendron mame. I've had the hardest time growing this plant, if I'm being honest. It always gets spider mites and fizzles out, and it's on its last effort with me. If it doesn't make it, it just had a battle of spider mites. I did just spray it. I can still see webbing, so I'm gonna have to spray it again. But it's just not one that's like important enough to me to continue to try to work with. I find this plant to be extremely challenging to grow. My Plowmanii has been nothing but a breeze, but this one, I don't know. She's here, but I don't know how long she's gonna be here for. You know what I mean? And then right here is my Rhipsalis paradoxa. I just recently moved her outside because, I don't know, I felt like she's reached a point of stagnation in the house. I just think she would be happier out here. So what I plan to do with her is I plan to take her out of this terracotta pot because I don't think she really likes the terracotta pot, and I am going to put her into a hanging nursery pot, and I'm just gonna try to find a spot to hang her. I just haven't gotten to that yet. This is all original plant. It actually was probably double the size and length, but I've since taken propagations and I've stuck them back into the pot. So in hopes to, you know, fill out the pot. I do find it relatively easy to propagate, but yeah, I don't know. It's just not meant for terracotta. I've not I've not seen really a whole lot of growth, so time to switch things up. And then up here is this is Hoya Chelsea. She is out of control. I need to put her into a bit of a larger hanging pot, but she seems to be doing all right nonetheless. And yeah, I'm constantly cutting her. I am constantly taking propagations, and she just continues to vine out. My Hoyas go absolutely crazy out here. Next to that is my fern leaf cactus, and you guys, this plant has become like one of my most, I don't know, I am so infatuated by her, especially with all of this beautiful new growth. This thing is growing at an insane rate, which is so funny because I tried growing this thing inside for probably a year and it did absolutely nothing, like nothing. All of this from here down is new growth. I think, yeah, this is an entirely new frond. All of this is new growth, an entirely new frond. Like, you can see kind of where it stopped and then where it started to grow again. And all of that started after I moved it outside. So she's really happy out here. She loves the humidity, and yeah, she definitely needs an up pot. I will probably take her from this pot and put her in the Chelsea pot once I put Chelsea into a larger pot. So that's kind of like how that's gonna go, I think. But yeah, let's move over here. Oh look, there's a little green anole. I don't know, can you guys, oh, he's so fast. He already moved on. I don't know if you can see him up there. But it's really good to see them because we've had some issues with invasive lizards, like eating the anoles. And so I hadn't seen them for a while until recently. I'm starting to see them kind of popping up again, which is exciting. Okay, so this is my OG crystallinum. This is my very first Anthurium. And if you've been around since day one, I featured 3 plants in my very first video for YouTube, and she was one of them. I love her so much, and I cannot express to you how excited I am to see her happy, because I had repotted her into this pot, and when I did that, I thought she was gonna explode and be super happy and all the things, and it was actually the alternative. She got really sad, started dropping leaves. I think she was down to like maybe 3 leaves when I decided to just finally move her outside. And I'm so glad that I made that move, because since then she's given me a ton of growth, you guys, like one leaf after the next. She's also giving me some flowers again, which has been a long time coming. And it seems like every time I come out here, she's either giving me a new flower or a new leaf. Both of these leaves are her newest ones. So that is so exciting. I just think she's so majestic, and I was afraid that I was gonna lose her for a minute there, or at least have to start her over. And yeah, she is the very first Anthurium that I bred. So we've been through a lot together, and yeah, she's super special to me. She's super special to me, and I think she's super beautiful. It's kind of gonna get a little chaotic back here because I kind of got a lot going on, but this is down here. This is, this is actually Alocasia corazon, which I did not plant here. The only way I can keep alocasias alive, you guys, is when they sprout in my Anthurium pots, which seems to happen quite frequently. So this is Alocasia corazon, some random corm that somehow managed its way into this pot. So yeah, and it's the only way that I can keep them alive. Look how happy this thing is. If I were to separate it and put it in its own pot, forget it. It would disintegrate. So this is Anthurium regale, and she is giving me a brand new leaf, which is so exciting because she's not one to give me leaves very often. And it's typically a 1 leaf in, 1 leaf out. That is the only leaf that she has going on right now. I recently just cut off her 2nd leaf because it got really crunchy and kind of grody. This is all messed up because I had her sort of over here, and every time she puts out a leaf, she chases the light. So the leaf was rubbing up against the screen. It's probably gonna happen to this one as well. There's nothing I can really do about it. So yeah, that's Regal. Behind Regal is my philodendron Jose Bueno that is absolutely out of control. I will get you a better shot of it in a second, but that is this side of her. And then if I move you over here, you can get a better idea. I told you we were gonna see some really big plants today. Like, look at this leaf, you guys. That is her, not even her most recent, but like, her leaves are kind of wonky right now because I just moved her into this spot. So those other leaves were like chasing light. But I mean, if you can see, like that's my hand. I mean, I've thought about chopping her. I don't know, I really like her. I like how crazy she looks and how wonky she is. And she gives me the most beautiful, oh my goodness, the most beautiful leaves. Stunning, and it's like one leaf after the next, which is another reason why I haven't chopped her, because I go to say I'm gonna chop her and then she's giving me a new leaf. So I don't know. Down here, let's go back around here. Like I said, it's gonna get a little hectic because that is my philodendron Pariso Verde. Not a whole lot to see. And then down there I have a fairy tale cactus. So you can kind of get a glimpse of that. It's kind of hard to show you guys all this because, you know, there's a pretty Pariso leaf. Look at that. Pretty. This is my Anthurium fingers, which has been a struggle for me. I don't know what this plant wants. It's in 100% humidity all the time, and it always gives me these silly crispy ends. I kind of hate it, but I really want this to mature because I want to breed with it. So we're kind of at a place right now where it's like, this is the most mature leaf she's given me though, and the more mature these leaves get, the more I love it and wish that I could figure out what exactly it wants from me. I think I'm gonna try up potting it and just kind of, sorry about the planes, guys. I do live pretty close to an airport, so it's probably gonna happen frequently. There's nothing I can do. And then John is out in the shed back there. He's about to mow, so that's exciting. We'll have the mower. I don't think it'll be too bad though. But yeah, I think I'm gonna up pot it and see if that helps. I don't know. I don't know what it wants. If you know, let me know. I mean, I treat it just like all of my other Anthuriums. It's definitely happier outside than inside. It's just these crispy ends. I don't understand it. Okay, so this is Anthurium, oh my gosh, papillolaminum. She is so beautiful, and I wish so much that I could get this plant to grow happy for me, but since she reached maturity, it's been nothing but a struggle keeping her happy. So I moved her out here, I'd say, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago. And I'm gonna try growing her out here to see if the up in humidity makes her happy. She grew great for me in the cabinet, but once I took her out of the cabinet, it was just all downhill from there, which is not usually how it goes. I typically don't have issues acclimating Anthurium to ambient, but with this one, I can't seem to find what makes her happy. And so, yeah. That's her. Next to her is my Anthurium. I have to look. I don't know exactly. This is Magnificum. Nope, that's not right. Yeah, no, that's right. This is Magnificum cross Forgetii. And she's doing well. A little bit of crispiness here and there, but cutie overall. Next to that is one of my favorites, and I think I just had her in a spot she wasn't really happy with, so she's here now. I'm hoping, yes, just kind of peeking at her caterpillar. I'm hoping to get a new leaf soon. I have put her in a place where she's gonna get a little bit more light, I think, than what she was getting before. So hopefully we'll see some some growth, but I love these leaves so much. This one came out kind of wonky, unfortunately, and she's down to just like 1.5. So obviously she wasn't happy where she was. I'm hoping that this move will be the trick, because I would love to breed with her someday. She makes the cutest, cutest, cutest leaves. It's like all these, did I say what this is? This is Magpappy. Sorry if I didn't say that. That's what she is. She's got the cutest lobes and the prettiest like round leaves with all that beautiful venation. I don't know, I just really love her, so I would love to see her be in a happier spot. And then this one is my Anthurium water dragon, variegated water dragon, which is funny because she stopped giving me variegation, and then on this recent leaf I can see some variegation, and her first little fenestration. So cute. So cute. I love this Anthurium. I will say she's got quite the wingspan though. It's definitely one that you're going to need to like have the space for if you decide to pick this up. I've noticed, sorry, she's been giving me leaf after leaf, so I know she's happy. I moved her again out here maybe 2 months ago now, probably something like that, and it was definitely the right move. She didn't really love where I had her inside or just growing inside in general. Once I moved her out here, it was off to the races. And then over here in this corner is my Anthurium jungle giant, guys, and she is quite giant. Yeah. She's also blooming like crazy, as you can see. So yeah, I recently just harvested berries off of her, and it's so funny because those berries, she's also putting a new leaf out. Look at that. The berries that she gave me were a surprise. The lizards must have pollinated an inflow, and I'm thinking that that inflow came from this girl here. So I'm thinking that's what the cross is, but I can't say for sure. Either way, she is so beautiful. I love this plant. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves and another one on the way. She's always happy and she loves being outside. Like, she loves it out here. She's flowering, she's putting out a new leaf. Like, she just gave me berries, which I've shown you a couple times now, and the berries are doing great. So I never really thought of this one as one that I would use a lot for breeding, but I think I may reconsider that because she's doing the most. Look at that lizard. Welcome to Florida, guys, where the lizards, look at him. Crazy. Up here in this pot, I love this pot, by the way, so cool, is, I think this is Aglionema silver bay. Correct me in the comments, guys. I'm not 100% sure, but it's also growing like crazy. Again, I know it's hard to differentiate plant to plant because they're kind of so close together, but that's her. I love her leaves. Down here is a Dieffenbachia. This is, I don't remember the name. I think, is it Aglionema or Dieffenbachia? I'm not even sure. I got this from, I think, somebody in the planty community locally to me, and I just kind of stuck her out here. In fact, over the winter, she got really sad, and I ended up just chopping her up entirely. Like, because I wasn't like something I would be super sad if I lost it, you know? And so I used it as an experiment. I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I just chopped this thing all the way, like everything off. And it was the move because she came back with a vengeance. And now I'm like, oh, I really love her. She's so pretty. I look at her every time I come out here. Like, how pretty is that? Sometimes the classics just hit right, you know? And then down here is a Hawaiian pothos, guys. And it was so much more to write home about until the mouse that we have decided to make this dinner multiple nights in a row. So this is pretty much all I have left of it. And down here, these grow up trees. This is actually a cutting from John's dad's house that was fenestrated and like amazing. The fenestrated leaves didn't make it, and so this is like its offspring. But yeah, every time I try to get it going, you know, something comes and knocks it back. So that's that. Okay, and then if you saw my toes, don't mind them. I need a pedicure, you guys. Toes are looking a little crusty, okay? Okay, this is my biggest Hoya. This is my largest Hoya. This is Hoya pubicalis Hawaiian, something, you guys know what I'm talking about. Why is the name, I'll have it on the screen. Anyway, yeah, Hoya pubicalis Hawaiian splash. I'm pretty sure that's the name. I don't know why it's escaping me, but yeah, she is my biggest Hoya. I have to kind of back up to show her to you. Incredibly massive. Hold on, pause one moment. Okay, John's mowing, the dogs are inside. Hopefully that's not gonna be too bothersome, but she is unbelievably massive. I got this Hoya originally. She was in a 3-gallon pot, but she was probably only like this high on a trellis. So it's unbelievable to me how absolutely massive she's gotten. I've cut this thing a million times, and regardless, it just continues to grow and grow and grow. And I'm to the point now, honestly, where I'm like, what am I gonna do with you? Because she's like trying to grow into the peach tree. She's trying to take over the world. But she's so beautiful. She's now blooming for me, which I've had her going on 3 years now. So I kept wondering, like, when is she going to bloom? Like, everybody's Hoyas seem to be blooming except mine. I can't get a single Hoya to bloom. And then one day I walked out here, guys, and she was blooming, and I couldn't believe it. So yeah, she's got peduncles kind of like all over, and I just love her. I do really love her. I love these leaves, how large they get, and it's really something to see a Hoya kind of like hit maturity and, you know, get to see these massive leaves that Hoyas do put out. Like, she also sun stresses so beautifully, like pretty purple. Her new leaves are really pretty too, just like that really pretty rich burgundy. Like, look at the variegation down here. Look at the splash. So pretty. Like, I should cut this vine here because she's got some really pretty leaves. Look at that, like, kind of half moon. Yeah, she's definitely one of my favorites. Probably could use another repot, but every time I repot her, she grows insanely fast. And so this is the pot that I have her in. This is like a large terracotta. So it's like, how big are we gonna go? And also repotting this is incredibly challenging. I am not gonna lie to you. Like, it takes all of my energy. This is just a snow bush from my neighbor, and I just potted her up yesterday in this nice little 3-gallon. So yeah, I think I want to leave her in a pot for a while until I figure out just the right spot to put her. But she's really pretty. I love these dainty little leaves, that pretty variegation. Hers is in the ground outside, and it's growing like crazy. It's so beautiful. All right, moving back, we've done that. Let's get into Spiritus Sancti. So I've done a dedicated video probably a year ago or so now on growing this plant. This was a huge wish list plant for me back when they were, you know, still like rare and hard to find, and I finally got one. John got this for me. I don't know what the occasion was, but that is her most recent leaf. But she did just put out one, so I'll show that to you. And I just kind of want you guys to take note because she's given me this leaf outside as well. And this is her most recent. So I love that we're getting that really cool lobing at the top. I love this plant so much, and I cannot wait to continue growing it, just see where it goes. But when I tried to grow this plant inside, I struggled quite a bit with the EFN, which is essentially extra floral nectaries. I had a really difficult time getting these spots. See these spots everywhere? It was basically the plant putting out those extra floral nectaries, and burning holes throughout its leaves. So I decided to move her outside, and I decided that I wanted to put her in a hanging situation. And since doing that, she has really come around. She gives me leaf after leaf. I've cut a couple of them off. One thing I'm not crazy about is these huge long petioles, and I'm sure some of that is down to the fact that, you know, she's probably stretching for a light. I probably could have her in a brighter scenario, but I moved her from where that fern leaf is to this side. So she should get more morning light than what she's used to. So I'm kind of hoping that that works out in my favor, and maybe her next few leaves won't be so leggy. But either way, I think it's beautiful in a hanging pot. So yeah, I'm loving her. She's doing really well. And shout out to Cruel Sister for calling me out and being like, where is that spiritus? Well, here she is. She is doing really good. And then these are my two rope Hoyas. So this is the variegated one. This one is incredibly slow to grow, you guys. It takes forever to get growth. But yeah, I mean, I think she's cool nonetheless. I have taken a couple cuttings from her. Neither one has ever grown for me. And it's just this one long vine. I find this to be pretty challenging to propagate, if I'm being honest. So I don't really cut it, which is why the pot is, you know, it's just the one vine. But yeah, you know, she's doing good nonetheless. And then unlike that one, my green one grows like a weed. It literally, look at this guy, look at this guy. It literally grows like a weed. And I am so excited because I think this Hoya is probably one of my favorites. I love how weird it is. And all of these, it was originally, so last summer, and I believe in my last video, it was just these two vines. And now she's put out 1, 2, 3 more over the course of a year. So exciting. Like, I can't wait. I just love this plant. So the bigger, the better. I think she's so cool. I'm just envisioning these being as long as that and it just being this huge, big, full pot. Like, that's the dream. That is the dream, but nonetheless, so cool. So cool. Okay, and then we'll move over here. This is my Hoya Shepherdii. This is a relatively recent acquisition. I think I got her back in like March or so. I can't take credit for how big and beautiful she is because she came that way, but she has grown quite a bit since I brought her here. Like all of this at the top is new growth and she has peduncles everywhere. This thing bloomed, I don't know, maybe like 2 months ago, you guys, and I put it up on my TikTok. I put it as a reel on TikTok. You'll have to go and check it out because when this thing is in full bloom, it is absolutely a moment. Now, I will say, Shepherdii really wasn't like one I thought that I needed, but I gotta say, I love how whimsical and beautiful these leaves are. How it just like look how pretty that is. You can't look at that and tell me that that's not charming. Because I feel like it gives me, I wanted a linearis forever and I got one and it just didn't grow so well for me. I had a really hard time growing it. But I love the look of linearis and I feel like this kind of scratches that itch for me. But I think I like it even more than linearis, if that's even possible, right? I just think she's beautiful. I'm so happy to have her. Shout out to my friend Tony for selling her to me. She's happy, she's healthy, and I love her so much. And then moving over here is another one of my favorite girls. This is my Hoya carnosa Crimson Princess, and she is just so beautiful. She's putting out some green vines that I need to get rid of, but she kind of took a hit over the winter. She just suffers every winter a little bit. She just kind of goes through a phase where she's unhappy, but as soon as it warms back up, she starts putting out all this growth. Let me kind of move her like that so you can see. Well, that didn't work out. She's so big, you guys. Like, she's so big. And I've cut her many times. I've propagated her, and she just keeps on. Now, she's never bloomed for me, so I don't know what that's about, but I love her foliage. Either way, it doesn't matter. I think she's so beautiful. I love her pink leaves when they come in. I love her splashiness. She is just such a joy. Every leaf is its own work of art. And I know this is such a common Hoya, but I feel like everyone should have Crimson Princess because yeah, I think you'll just love her. She's so beautiful. I have been kind of now going through, like, this is a cut I'll probably take. Look how beautiful that is. I've been trying to cultivate like a special pot of her most beautiful leaves. That's something I really love doing with Hoya, is chopping their special leaves and trying to like make full pots of that. I've been doing that with my Wilbur Graves and stuff. But yeah, she's magical. And then next to that is my mama plant, Anthurium spectable. I talk about this Anthurium quite a bit because I don't really hear anybody else talk about it. And I think it is such an interesting Anthurium. It's kind of a strappy leaf and it pups out like crazy, which makes it really easy to propagate. I have a couple babies in the house that I plan on parting with to like in just a couple trades, but she's been really fun to grow. I like her leaves. I like how they sort of like curl like that. I like her growth pattern. I think she's so cute in like this hanging pot. I just think she's so cool. So yeah, I talk about her quite a bit. And then, did we get every plant already? Oh, down here, I almost forgot her. This is my little ghost, my philodendron Florida ghost. This was absolutely massive last year. Since then, I've started it over because it just got leggy and sort of out of control. So I restarted her, and that is what she's looking like currently. I think we've covered everything in the pergola. We do have this corner over here. This is just cuttings on the table, guys. Like, got an Adansonii, I've got some silver sword, I've got the piece of my pothos that we talked about earlier that I'm restarting. This is glorious. I just stick things in jars and see what happens. I actually just chopped up my entire silver sword yesterday because it was looking like viney and leggy, and I just want to start it over. Some Monstera cuttings from this over here. Never mind that water too, you guys. It doesn't matter. Like, they grow just fine. I mean, I changed the water out. You can see here, she's clearer. But it just gets like that. It's summertime, it's 90 degrees here in Florida, so it happens. And the plants don't seem to care. Look at the roots. Beautiful amethyst crystal. My homemade leaf shine or pest treatment, it's in my bio always with the ingredients. This is super effective for killing spider mites. So I sprayed her down yesterday. We'll just drown her again today. And I just always keep it handy. I do use it as a leaf shine. In addition to, I find it very effective for spider mites. And so anything that's like prone to getting spider mites, I'll just sort of like mist it. I need to do those other ones, the Plowmanii. But yeah, I'll just kind of come through and mist it down. You get the point. Anyways, if you're curious, all of the ingredients are in the bio. This girl is Syngonium batik, and this was a prop from John's dad from his house, and it's absolutely out of control, kind of taking over the world. But I love her. I think she's so pretty in this corner, and she's starting to like really vine out now. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start trailing her around the screen, like around this extension cord. You see what I'm saying? And just start letting her fill out around. I think that would be so cool. So that's kind of where we're going with. She is just in semi-hydro, my homemade pond mix. And yeah, she loves it. This is my original Christmas cactus. This cutting was from my mom, and she's doing amazing. All of the Christmas cactus cuttings that you see throughout the house or ever in any video come from this one here. This is my Hoya Bertonier that is coming back to life. It's been a struggle with this one. I got this as a super full pot from the big box store, and it took a dive. Sometimes that happens with my Hoyas. So I just chopped her, propped her, and this is actually what was left over from the chop and prop. And so, yeah, she's starting to come back nicely. And then down here, you guys, last but not least, is this very super annoying Monstera. This is my Monstera elbow that decided to completely revert. So now it's just sitting here sad, and we have a history, this one. This is my very first rare plant, and I paid pretty solid money for her. I paid 150 bucks for 3 leaves. And she was doing great. She was in a favorites video not so long ago, and here we are. These are her most recent leaves. So I chopped her again, and we'll see what happens. This is my rando cactus that I find super cute and fuzzy, and so he just lives there. And then this is the Hoya undulata cutting. One of you mentioned putting it outside, and I'm really nervous about this, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna get anything out of that. I don't even know if there's any viable spot for a new growth point. So it makes me kind of sad, because this has definitely been on my wish list, and I was so grateful and excited to get it, but it didn't really have any roots on it. They were kind of dry rotted, and so I don't know. One of you mentioned putting it out here in the humidity, so that's what we're doing. We shall see. But that pretty much completes the pergola. These are my biggest plants. That's the overall, like when you walk out, that's what you kind of see. And then I figure while we're here, I will show you this part of the backyard. And then next time we'll go that way, and I'll show you the garden, the orchard, etc. But we're already several minutes into this video, so I don't wanna bore you guys too much. Anyway, this is Pt.3 number 2. So we are growing her in a pot. This is how we start all of our fruit trees. We start them in pots, and then once they're good and established, we give them usually about a year in the pot, and then we put them in the ground. The reason that we put this here is because our peach tree that was here prior, that we since put into the ground, you'll see in the next video, the squirrels eat all of our peaches. So we got another one, and we thought, well, if we keep it close to the pergola with all of our ins and outs and the dogs, like maybe the squirrels will be afraid. Nope, they ate every single one. So she has grown a ton since we got her. And yeah, that is her. And then over here, I just have like a few cucumber plants, just kind of experimenting with where cucumbers grow best. And they're growing the best over on the other side of the house, on the west side of the house. But we do have one on the vine here. Cute. The vine is actually starting to take off. It was looking pretty sad for a while, but yeah. Just some hibiscus. This is our lemon tree, which is loaded in lemons. They take forever to mature though. Like, I don't know if it's because we have so many on here or what. She looks to me like she needs some nutrients, so I need to feed her. We also need to properly stake her. But yeah, I don't know. It's taken forever for these lemons to hit maturity. This is our beautiful Musa banana, our variegated banana tree. I love her so much. She's getting so big. John just repotted her into this pot yesterday. I think she needs an even bigger pot though. And then yeah, that's I think that's Loropetalum. No, not Loropetalum. Crepe myrtle. Passion fruit vine. You gonna make it, babe? It's very hot out and he's mowing the grass. This here, I'm so glad this is flowering while I get to show you guys, because this is it's called a mouse ear plant. And it only flowers once a year, but when it flowers, it's absolutely amazing, guys. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. And so what drew us into this plant, I've only seen it ever one time out in the wild, like to buy, and we bought it, but it's these super fuzzy leaves that it has. Can you see how fuzzy? So cute. It's like velvet. I'll have the scientific name on the screen for you, but yeah, she's really happy here. Finally found a place for her that she's really happy, blooming, doing all the things. Flowers are so beautiful, and she's starting to like really bush out down here. I just gave her some more dirt, like some fresh dirt. Look how fuzzy. And she's seemingly really loving it. This is my ponytail palm. She is going on, I think this is her third year, something like that. She could definitely stand for a larger pot, but I never pay attention to this plant. I wish it were the kind of ponytail that had the curly, the curly tails, but she's cool. I've thought about parting with her on a couple of occasions, but just haven't done it. There is something whimsical about her. There is something whimsical. Okay, so moving to this table here, I guess we'll do this, and we'll do like some of this, and then we'll call it for today. And then on the next one, we'll go through the orchard. Okay, so this is Christmas cactus, another one from my original mother plant. I thought I was gonna lose my mother plant at one time, so I took cuttings, and now I just have a ton of them. This is a prop of prickly pear cactus, which I actually have the big one outside. If you guys are curious in seeing the cactus garden out front as like maybe part 5 of the tour, let me know. I always forget to showcase them, but if there's an interest, I can film that as well. This is a very sad desert rose that John got from a client, and I'm trying to rehab her. We've not had her very long, so don't judge her too hard. This is also this came from our neighbors. This is a jade, and I quite love her, actually. I think she's really interesting. So yeah, excited about that. Very sad looking coffee plant, and this is just some stapelia that we got from a client that I am trying to get to propagate and stick. So we'll see how that goes. Over here is my massive snake plant. She is wild. I don't really have another word for her, but there's no more room in the pot for her to put another single shoot. I've thought about repotting her, but if I'm being honest, guys, like, that's as big of a pot as I can give. Like, we don't have any more space. So anyway, I do love her right next to the hot tub. I think she's super cool. And then down below, I have the whale fin sansevieria, which is really, really cool. She just gave me these 2 fresh blades, which I am so excited about, because one thing I will say is this is a rather slow to grow sansevieria. Yeah, I had just this solo shoot for probably a year before it finally gave me this one, which is a little bit bleached from the sun. And then finally, she just recently gave me these 3 new blades. Wow. So yeah, it's definitely one that takes its time. It could probably stand for a bit larger of a pot, but she is super cool. I quite enjoy her. Yeah. Another little banana tree, some basil and rosemary. One of my many tomato plants of the season. And then over here kind of starts the garden area. Look at the peppers we have. This one's pretty much ready to be cut. Some poblanos coming in. Just all kinds of peppers this year, going crazy. And then another tomato. This is beefsteak. That's a butterfly bush. Oh, I wanted to mention this bird feeder, guys. You can find this on Amazon, and it is the coolest thing. This is actually our bedroom window. So every morning we wake up and we get to see the birds feed. They definitely are ready for some food. But 10 out of 10. I think this is like 12 bucks on Amazon, and I gotta say, the suction is amazing, and this whole thing is amazing. I love it. I just love, 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 love. And then before we get into all of this, you know, next week's video, I did kind of want to show you the mango tree while she's mangoing. Like, I don't know if you guys can see all of the mangoes on the ground, but there's a ton of them. We just got to a point where this thing was so overloaded full that, like, I was just every day coming out here and harvesting. So yeah, we've just kind of let them go to the wayside now. None of our neighbors seem interested, and so we're just gonna let them decompose back into the plant and let her, you know, just use it as fertilizer. But it was exciting to get a nice harvest this year because last year was pretty sad. And then the year before that, she almost froze to death. So yeah, we'll get into that. All of that in the next video, as well as we'll finish up over here. But I think we've gone on long enough now, and I'm sure the lawnmower is pretty annoying. But that's it. That's the pergola, guys. That's kind of like our backyard, you know? And I couldn't be more proud. It's been a long time in the making. We have been working on this steadily for 4 years. So, you know, every year we add a little something. This year we added the selfie wall. That's what we call it last year. But we added these pavers this year. So, you know, it's just kind of like a piece thing. Like every year we just kind of add piece by piece. But it's one of my favorite places, favorite spaces, and I am really proud of it. So anyways, guys. All right, guys, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed seeing my larger plants, my outdoor plants. They're some of my favorites always because they're ones that have been with me the longest, and they're the ones that have really outgrown the space inside. So it's really just a treat to see them in their mature form, doing their thing. So yeah, I'm just so happy to share them with you. And I hope that you will stick around for part 4 because we're gonna be getting into the garden and we're gonna be getting into what I call the orchard. So there's a lot of nice things happening out there as well. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, guys, so you're notified anytime I upload. When you do subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell and select all. Otherwise, it will only give you select videos that I upload. I'm sure you all know that, but in case you don't, there's that. And yeah, I just thank you guys so much for being here week after week. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye, guys.